Hello, my name is Darla Boljat, and my company's DK Boljat. I am working on the painting that I've been working on in the shorts, and you can see them on there numbered, I think it's 1 through, I don't know, is it 5? I think I stopped at 5. So this will be number 6, but I'm gonna see if I can do a full length video, like not do it fast, to see if, then you can see details, I'm using a small round brush. It is a 3-0, and it's made I think it's multimedia, but you could get an acrylic brush. This is acrylic paint. And I've mixed together a little burnt umber, a little ultramarine acrylic color, as well as distilled water. Excuse me. And I use distilled water because it's cleaner than our water out of the tap. So, certain things can get through on the water out of the tap, but if you use distilled water, you won't have to be concerned about your paint that you're saving turning sour. So I'm going to thin this down. I'm using a second brush to do that, and just pulling down to get that to thin out. There we go. These are just little dead trees off in the distance, and I'm just doing the trunks right now. And these were scratched off with the background already painted. And I think that's one of the videos up there. I'm just trying to have a steady hand using just the tip of the brush. So if it's too fat like that, take another brush, come alongside of it, and you can thin it down. This brush is damp, but it's not dripping. It's just damp. There we go. And then you're not stuck with it thick, Let's see. Another tree. I don't want them to make a pattern, so I've got to look at what's going on. Some of them aren't going to be straight, because when they were alive before the fire, they were fighting for sunshine. And now they're just an old dead tree in a forest of dead trees, it looks like. I will continue one by one putting these in, and you can stay as long as you want. Typically I listen to music, but I was concerned about copyright, so I didn't know. I'll have to figure out a way to listen to music and do this at the same time. Music that's not going to be copyrighted. If you know a way, let me know. Leave me a comment that tells me how to get music to listen to that's not going to be copyrighted, that I could have on the video, and I'll do that because I like having music in the background when I'm painting. Music without words. Let's see if that one will go in there. Yeah. Just make it a little bit crooked. Why not? And I really like painting trees. I always have. I think that for me, they're easy to do, and it's really difficult to mess up on them. I mean, you just try it out, because with acrylic paint, you can paint over it. And also, I've learned, like this stuff was already dry in the background, so I have learned that I can take, if I don't like something, I can take it off with a Q-tip, and they make really good erasers. So I've used them for years to remove paint when I need to. And these guys are standing out like a sore thumb because they are pretty much white. So I'm gonna add a little more gray to it. And there we go. And this is really thinned down so that it's a pretty sharp brush. Make sure my bristles are all sharp. And then I'm gonna keep going. So this has a little bit more gray in it. And these are off in the background. I don't want them shining, being the focal point, because they're not. I don't want them fighting for the focal point. So I'm going to make them as subtle as I can. And then I could always whitewash or wash over them with a different color if I need to make them darker. A little bit of gray. Just putting them in, lining them up. It's where these trees were left standing. So if you're just starting out painting, how long have you been painting? And if you never tried painting and you just like to watch painting, that's great. Welcome to my channel. I hope you like this video and I hope that you subscribe. I am just learning about YouTube. I didn't know about it before, and I think it was just this last year that I started actively working on YouTube. I haven't before, so I didn't see a reason to because I was too busy painting and you know what I mean, just too busy doing life and painting. But now, why not just set the video up when I paint? Why not? I think that that's probably gonna be good. I can move off in the distance. There's some up on the hill I can see in the picture. So let me see if I can bring that down a little smaller. Try doing 2 at a time, huh? Okay, that's probably enough. Now I'm gonna take a Q-tip to take off the excess water there. Do you see that excess water? Q-tips work really good for a lot of things, but they clean up pretty well. Took off the whole tree pretty much, but you know what? I'll just put it right back. There we go. And the remaining parts of the tree, I'm gonna make them a little bit darker and try using a fan brush because there is some branches coming out on the sides. I can see them in the little reference photo. So I just have a small fan brush. This one's kind of, it's seen a lot of love in its life. It's just kind of, it's kind of rebelling. So I'm gonna get a flatter one. That would be good. One that I can actually use as a tool to put in the tree. There we go. So that's a better one. It's more new, I think, and just get a little bit of paint on it. And where I see the branches, I'm just gonna put in a little bit of, make sure I don't put too much. It's not a big deal if I do, I can always take it off. Like I said, just gonna put in little suggestions of the bones of that tree. Yep. And the suggestion's a little bit carried away here, so I can take that off. Not a problem. Yep, and bring it down to sort of, some came off, some didn't. And then I will look for other ones that have a little bit of, you know, their own sort of branches coming off the side. See if I can get you to have a little bit too. Just a few. Just giving the suggestion that this is a tree off in the distance. I don't want a lot of detail. Like you're not going to be able to see if there's a critter back there because it's so far away. All we're going to see is just the suggestion of trees off in the distance. So they're not going to be perfect, and we don't want perfect. Perfect is overrated. And nature has its own perfection without, I mean, even when it's not perfect, it's just beautiful. So I think that it is lovely. And almost there. Let's see if I can get this guy over here. You got some at the bottom. Well, that's okay. They could be that way at the bottom. And some of the bottoms of these trees in the picture are black, are gray, dark gray, from where they got burned. Okay, and then I've got a bunch of them back in here that I can just put a little bit of branches going sideways, and then I can put in some upright ones. I don't need a lot of them, just a few to suggest it. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna call that good, I think. And then I'm gonna get some black, and I've got that over here on the other side. Excuse me. Allergies are bugging me this time of year. How about you? I've got like mold and dust because it's March, first part of March, and you know, winter's gonna clear out and then it'll be spring soon, which will be nice. I think that the allergies will cut down by then. Getting the black. And this black is sort of a dark blue. It's burnt umber and ultramarine. It's made. I made it. You just mix those two together. Make your own black. Burnt umber and ultramarine. All right. A little bit of black on here. I can put in some of the trees that are in through here. Get you to go flat. I'm not going to be rebellious here. We're going to work together. There we go. Yes, there we go. I find it really helpful if I'm thinking more positively. Things will work out. Things will go well. I will be able to do this. So I think positively as I'm painting, because if I'm not thinking positively, I'm gonna have some problems, and I don't want to have that. So I keep a positive outlook when I'm painting. All right, there we go. Just gonna put these on here. That's probably plenty. And then these guys over here, some of them have a black base, which I can bring down, make you a little darker there. Come on, we're not gonna do all yet, but maybe just a few. So I've been painting since 2004. Well, I mean, I did stop and eat and sleep and stuff like that, but I meant, you know, I started in 2004, and I didn't know I could paint. I was going in a group, and I was praying at the time that, you know, God would show me where to go, like what to do, what to do with my life, right? And so a friend of mine that was in the group also, she painted at the time. I had not ever tried painting, and she invited me over, and I enjoyed painting with her. I mean, I just tried it in her studio, and I did it probably, I think it was like, you know, every few weeks with her, and went to her house and did that, and really enjoyed that time with her. I'm just getting extra paint off of here. And I started acrylic painting. I was pretty happy with my first painting. The trick is, when you're painting, you know, we are our own worst critic. And the trick is to remember, give yourself some grace, and to also remember that all you have to do is get to the point where you're okay with it. You don't have to get to the point where you absolutely love it and you're gonna display it and, you know, call everybody over for a show. No, just get to where you're okay, and you're gonna be able to walk by that and look at it, and it's not gonna bother you. You're not gonna go, I should have done this, or I should have done that. Get it to where you're okay. And when you get to that point, you can stop. That's what I do. I get to where I'm okay with it, and I stop. This particular one is on paper, and it's for a class. I'm doing a class, but it's not as precise as I typically do with all of them, but it kind of gives you the basic idea how I'm doing it. I'm just taking off some of the black. So this Q-tip makes a really good eraser and takes off some of the paint. Yeah, okay. And this video is now 4 minutes long, so okay. Well, that's fine. I'm thinking it might be a good first video. But anyway, what I was gonna tell you was, I started painting, and I started selling paintings, and next thing you know, that's what I'm doing, is painting. But what I didn't tell you was, back when I was painting with my friend, at the same time my grandmother had passed away. Well, she was passing away, and she was in hospice when she was ill. I sent her my first painting of a barn, and it hung over her bed in hospice before she died. And then at her eulogy, I learned she always wanted to paint, and she never talked about that to me. I mean, maybe to other family members, but not to me. And I had been painting for, you know, a few weeks with my friend, and I felt it was after I finished my first painting, so it had been maybe a few months, but I felt like that was what I was supposed to be doing, was painting. So that's what I started doing. And I haven't turned back, and that was back in 2004. So I have done classes, I've done shows, I've done all sorts of art stuff, and I love painting. I love how I feel when I paint, and that's the bottom line, is how do you feel when you paint. If you don't be uptight about it being perfect, just embrace creating, and then, you know, like I said, get it to where you're okay, and that'll do it. That's it. Put a little black on that one, I think. I forgot him. He's kind of hanging out there without much black. They all kind of got charred from the burning. All right. Yeah. I think that's good. That'll be good for now. And then next, I'm gonna do the water. The water will be next. I'm gonna have to do that. That'll be fun. Well, I hope to see you at the next video. And I hope that you like this video, and I hope that you follow my channel. Okay. Have an awesome day today. And if you take up painting, great. I'd love to hear it. All right. Thank you for the likes, and thank you for the follow. I'll let you go.